Hi everyone, this is part 2 of SQL Placement Series. In this previous video, we understood what SQL is, why we need SQL, and where SQL is used. In this video, we are going to understand the most important basics of SQL. We will learn what is database, what is table, what is row, what is column. If you are a beginner, don't skip this video because every SQL works only on tables inside a database. First, let us know what is a database. In simple words, a database is a place where data is stored in an organized way. Guys, you just think about a college. A college has data of students, teachers, exams, marks, and fees. If all the data is written randomly on papers, it becomes very difficult to manage. So the college stores all the data in a database. And also a database helps us to store the data, find the data easily, and update the data when required. And guys, I want to clarify you that many beginners think that a database is just one single file, but that's not correct. A database contains many tables. A database is actually a container. Inside one database, we have multiple tables. This is a big box of database. These small boxes are tables. So remember this clearly. A database contains tables and tables contains rows and columns. And SQL is used to work within data inside a database. We use SQL to create tables, to insert the data, and to fetch the data from the database. Now let us understand what is a table. In database, data is stored inside the tables. A table is just like an Excel sheet or a register we use in school or college. The table has columns. Each column represents one type of data. This table also has rows. Each row represents one complete record. For example, in a student table, we can store student ID, name, and student marks. Now listen carefully, this is very important. One table should store only one type of data. That is the one thing. And that one thing or one type of data is called as entity. Entity simply means what the data is about. If this is a student table, then it should store only student related data like student ID, student name, and student marks. We should not store employee data inside student table. This will create confusion. Similarly, an employee data stores only employee related data, that is employee ID, employee name, and employee salary. So remember this rule, one table is one entity, that is a table should have only one type of data. And also when we write SQL queries, we always write queries on table. Now let us understand what row is. In a table, data is stored in rows and columns. A row represents one complete record. So guys, this is a student table and this table has 3 rows and each row contains the details of one student. That is student ID, name, and marks all together in one row. So please remember this clearly. One row represents one record, that is one person's complete data. And also a row does not store only one value, but it stores multiple values, but all values belongs to one record. And when we write SQL queries, we usually fetch rows from the table and the result we get is a row. So finally we can say that a row is a horizontal line in a table that represents one complete record. Now let us understand what column is. In a table, data is stored in rows and columns, and column represents one type of data. This is a student table and we have 3 different columns. One column for student ID, one column for student name, one column for student marks, and all the values in one column are of same type. For example, marks column will store only marks, ID column should store only ID, name column should store only names. And also this is very important guys, a column does not represents one person. A column represents one field. In SQL queries, we often select columns, for example, only name column or marks column. So finally, we can say that a column is a vertical section in a table that stores only one type of data. So in this video, we understood the core building blocks of SQL. We learned what is database, what is table, what is row, and what is column. If these concepts are clear, SQL becomes very easy. Every SQL queries works only on these basics. If this video helped you, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and continue to SQL Placement Series and comment SQL Series if you are planning for placements. I will see you in the next video. Happy learning.